Oh, Nate, you're popular.
Whoa.
Yes.
Well, hi there, everybody.
Hello.
Today we're here to talk about another movie we saw recently. And it was called The Breadwinner.
Oh boy, was it.
And we were not expecting to love it.
Not from that trailer.
The moment we saw the trailer, we were like, oh, good lord. But then, then I saw a trailer with Colin Jost being extra silly, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm getting slightly curious. It's got Colin Jost, it's got Will Forte, some people who are just
Comedy gold.
right. Especially these days, Colin Jost is having a lot of fun on SNL, being in more actual sketches, thanks to his new role as Secretary of War or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, so we went to, so I was like, well, we should go see this. And I think by the time we saw it, it was already reduced to one showing a day.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was Angel Studios, just from the look of the trailer.
Sure.
Very slapsticky, trying too hard, and no bad language. And I was like, oh, is this Angel Studios?
And also a weird premise.
Right.
A premise that harkens back to a time that it would have been nice if we've left it behind, but
Michael Keaton classic. That's a tongue twister. Let me just look up at the thumbnail of Mr. Mom from the 80s.
Sure.
This has already been made and much better.
Yes, well, I have things to say about that, about the comparison. Okay. But this is written by Nate Bargatze, however you pronounce it.
I don't care.
We're just going to say Nate. Yeah, I didn't really look for videos of him pronouncing it like I normally do. And
sorry,
also with Dan Lagana, I guess, who is... he's written a few things, but directed by Appel, with a lot of comedy credits like Silicon Valley, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, New Girl. So
really,
I'm sure that there was a little bit of hope in some of the people who signed on, and maybe they started seeing other people signing on. This is kind of like a cold storage effect here. Oh, it's that guy, and also who also was involved in writing these things, and this person's in it, and this person's in it.
Right.
Sure. Or else maybe someone just needed money for their ferry that they bought with Pete Davidson, and this is just going in the ferry renovation fund.
I get a feeling then, if this seems like comedy royalty made this, and yet I get the feeling then that producers stepped in and went, I don't know if the audience will, and it's like, oh, that's the kiss of death to a comedy, when the producers are like, shouldn't we explain why he's wearing a hat? And it's like, no, he just wears a hat. No, there's got to be some comedy gold for why he's wearing a hat.
Right.
And you get bogged down in, when comedy isn't funny, man, it's a chore to sit through. This film felt like it was 6 hours. Anyway.
At its 1 hour and 39 minutes runtime. Now, if you haven't, this is all spoilers. This is the ride home.
This is the talk in a parking lot after you just saw it going, oh, I wish I'd poked my eyes out now. That's kind of mean, but this film.
The basic gist of this is that Nate, he may have had a different name, his character. But,
I don't think so. I think he was called Nate in the film.
Maybe.
Is that so he didn't get confused?
I don't know. That he may not have been called that. But anyway, that's not so important, in my opinion.
I'm just gonna read the when you put text at the bottom of the screen, like, oh yeah, he was called Nate.
I think I saw it on IMDb. Their last name was Will Cox or something.
Yeah,
but anyway, he is a car salesman. I'll just do it really briefly. He's a car salesman. He has 3 daughters.
Right.
His wife invents something kind of using her 3D printer that's sort of a efficiency tool that someone encourages her to suggest it to Shark Tank. She goes on Shark Tank. She gets accepted. She has got to go to Korea to help produce these little items, these little keychain kind of things with points that help remind you of the different things you might need to get done before you leave for school.
And I think the most believable thing in this film was her prototype looked 3D printed, like she had just messed around with a 3D printer and came up with this thing and went, hey, look, I think I'm inventing something. I'm like, I believe that. I believe Mandy more.
But for some reason, Shark Tank grinds to a halt over the question of whether Mandy Moore's character, a mom, could possibly be able to leave for any period of time or run a business because, she's got children.
Right.
And then they
the sharks care.
Sure. Like this has never come up before. That they've never they've never heard of childcare. I feel like there was another movie. What movie did we see where we're like, have they not heard of childcare?
Or nannies. Rich people in the Shark Tank.
Yeah, anyway. I can't remember. There was something where I was like, wait, they not heard of childcare? Oh, it's gonna hit me at some point. Anyway, so the sharks,
possibly The Devil Wears Prada 2 or 1,
no.
because they kept asking someone to go over and check on the kid, and it's like, anyway, maybe not.
No, it's something else where we talked a lot about it in the review, but it's slipping my mind at the moment. Anyway,
it'll come back to us. On. Can you see we're not really interested in talking about this film?
No, I kind of am, because so the sharks kind of like, how could this be possible? A woman go somewhere else for a little while?
Yeah.
If you're to the military,
Yes, humor of the 1950s. Yeah.
Anyway,
a woman doing business.
Leaving for a little bit. So they bring out Nate, and he's eating a bagel or a donut or something from craft services, and there's like a lot of time spent hoping that this is comedic, and then cut to the rest of the thing is Nate trying to be the primary parent temporarily, the default parent, while his wife goes off to, start this business in Korea, and all the ways that he tries to adapt to this new role,
right?
With some ups and downs and supposed hilarity.
And I think at one point he mentions like, well, I'm not used to this because he uses they have a title drop. He's like, I'm the breadwinner. I just go to work and come back. And that's what I do. Right. And it's like, okay. Yeah. So you don't know anything at all. Absolute zero about how to work a toaster in your house.
Exactly.
Where the kids go to school. There's just this long list of really, are you just... It's like C-3PO. Did you just switch off when you get home? Like, if you don't need me, sir, I'll just be in the corner. Boo.
So mentioning the toaster, I have notes about this too. So I think an alternate title of this movie could have been like Nate's First Day on Earth.
Right.
Because
this should have been Disclosure Day.
There was serious, I never saw K-Pax, but I saw the trailer for K-Pax, and that has left me with forever just the one reference of Kevin Spacey biting a banana, through the peel. And I feel like this was what Nate was like in this movie. But you mentioned Solo Mio. In a very similar way, we have a supposedly comic actor walking around dead-eyed,
right,
surrounded by zany people trying to breathe zaniness into the movie, while the core of the movie, the star of the movie, is going around looking empty.
And the most believable, grounded actors were the three children, I thought. Mm-hmm. They all came across as really good, kind of stole the show.
Yes.
From people like, Kumail Nanjiani, who was just a caricature. It's like, if I see him make his pecs dance one more time, I'm like, Kumail, what are you doing? You're really smart. You don't need to make your pecs dance.
Right. Oh, there was another thing that I thought was odd. There's a part where, because I felt like, yes, they brought in, Zach Cherry, Martin Herlihy, Kumail Nanjiani, Will Forte, Kate Berlant.
So many names in this.
To maybe in the hopes of punching it up.
Maybe.
But so really they gave Kumail very little to do, but one of the things that he says, sort of as he's walking away at one point, is, once you go Pakistan, you never go Backistan. And he pronounced it like that. And I mean, if you've seen enough Kumail Nanjiani's stand-up, he says Pakistan, So why couldn't he have said, once you go Pakistan, you never go Pakistan? And that would have been...
Right, who told him, no, pronounce it Pakistan.
You're going to pronounce your country, this place that you talk about so much in your comedy, and you're going to mispronounce it for this. Is that a character choice? I don't know. I just feel it made me a little uncomfortable.
Right. Is that an actor getting a bag full of money choice? Like, what is it, really?
Right. So, one of the things that I felt like, much like Solo Mio, it's a lot of the character sort of bemoaning the loss of his, almost like government issued woman, like in this incel kind of way, like, where's my girlfriend? You actually participate in the getting of the girlfriend. It's called getting out into the world and working on your personality and being charming and having some things going for you. And so I felt like, much like the guy in Kevin James and Solo Mio, I felt like Nate in this is just going around kind of pissed, really.
Yeah.
You feel like there's resentment, and I felt like there was resentment of women, just kind of like there was a very undercurrent of anti-woman energy in this.
Yeah, whether or not they meant it to happen. And I bet you they'd argue, no, we don't mean that. It's like, well, it comes across like you're angry at this. Like,
right.
She is more, and also more business savvy and just very, very more organized. Her whole post-it notes to how the week's gonna go with the children, because you got 3 girls of varying ages, and it's like, yeah, she is organized to heck, and he just doesn't care. Well, it's like, wait a minute, you've also got this mirror image of when he's at the Toyota place, big advert for Toyota.
Gosh. Yes.
But there's also scheduling and stuff, and he just shows up, sells cars through his magical selling power.
Which as the movie opens, is him talking about cup holders.
Right, and then puts a check mark next to his face, and that's it. There's no paperwork he has to do. There's no organizing he has to do. No, he just, walks in, sells a car, and walks home.
He's also...
I don't know.
Yeah, he's also just... It seems like their routine is that he's just there when they leave for school. Or, I don't know. He doesn't exactly have to get there super early, it seems like, his schedule. But anyway.
Which, anybody work at a dealership, let us know in the comments. What time do you get up and do things? Yeah.
But,
do you breeze into work at 11, like Nate? I don't think so.
Well, I felt like I never saw any affection or friendship between any couple, unless it's escaping me, because Colin Jost and Kate Berlant, they are the couple that they go out to eat with or whatever.
Right.
And there's a strange dynamic there, and there's a point where they're saying what would Colin Jost invent, or could he invent something? And he jokes, wife poison. Just kidding. Wife poison?
Right.
What? What?
And then just move on with the scene.
Move on.
No fallout. No, they could have had a scene with those two in the house later on going, what did that mean? Oh, nothing, honey. Awkward. Nope. Just move on from wife poison. Just kidding. And next scene.
And I don't know if it was in the direction or if it was somebody's rider or whatever, but there was no affection displayed between, no physical affection of any kind. She's leaving for Korea and he's just from a distance bye,
Which makes me think, what's going on in Hollywood? Does everybody hate their spouses? And it's write about what you know. Also, everybody must hate their significant other.
And when she comes back from Korea and then she finds out she has to go back, they're not done with her, or she has to go somewhere else or whatever.
San Diego or something.
She's briefly there and then she has to leave. He was I wouldn't have hugged you that much if I had known that you were just stopping by. And it's well, I'm not even sure we saw them hug. It didn't feel like it. And he was, again, just dead-eyed the whole time. And so I feel like for a movie that maybe was trying to be very family forward, this movie kind of just dumps all over marriage and relationships, like liking your spouse or partner or whatever, and also just checking out completely. The thing about like Mr. Mom, you mentioned Mr. Mom. Well, there's a whole arc in Mr. Mom where he goes from, comedically being like bad at the job and doing his little hacks, like putting on, I feel like, does he put on a gas mask to change a diaper?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Some visual gags but their slapstick back then seemed to work better if there was any. I can't even quite remember. It was Michael Keaton falling over as much as Nate Bargatze was in this film. The more slapstick he did, the less funny it became.
I kind of felt like, yeah.
But yeah, I do remember the gas mask for changing a diaper, and it's like, but like you said, that character has an arc in Mr. Mom.
Yes. For one thing, I think he was also trying to entertain the kids more than just like shirk his responsibilities. But then gradually Michael Keaton's character gets really good at things. Like he's genuinely good by the end. At the end of this movie, Nate has essentially destroyed the house and has made everybody move their belongings to somebody else's house secretly so she could do her pitch there. And it's totally odd.
We get a weird money pit-esque, this thing knocked into this thing, which knocked into that thing, which has knocked down some scaffolding, and the house just falls apart.
Right. And I noticed that in the post-credit, like the little post-credit things were segments, clips of him doing his stand-up. And you could see the origin of different scenes of the movie were taken directly from his stand-up. And what it made me think was that this was maybe an aftermarket plot. Like, I have the jokes. How do we turn this into a story? I don't know.
And
if they asked Mr. AI about that at all.
Possibly because they're packing stadiums. Nate's filling stadiums. Everybody loves his comedy. So they just pictured like producers and executives going, well, how do we get him in a movie? Well, I know. I've seen some comedy of his. Let's just make a script. AI bot 4,000.
Right.
Make script from stand-up.
What would because something about there, he's got stuff about horses in his stand-up, not knowing that they sleep on the ground. He's got stuff about
so we get that
hiring
scene.
A contractor that's not great. So it's like they put all the stuff in the movie and try to turn it into a story.
Right.
And it that often doesn't really serve. If you're like, how can I get these like laughs and just arrange them in a certain order to seem like a story? But yeah,
it just wants to be an 80s comedy, much like Disclosure Day wanted to be an 80s Spielberg film and couldn't do it. We live in a different time. So I really felt this harkened back to, remember comedies of the 80s? Things would fall down. People would slip on things. It's like, I think we get like 10 minutes of him, or 10 minutes, a minute of him in the house by himself with the daughters, and he trips on a towel and falls like stuntman, falls down the stairs and puts a foot through a wall. And he's like, uh-oh, let me just bang in a nail and hang a picture over this foot hole in the wall. So you're just not competent enough to be like, I should patch that. Or, I'm rich. We're kind of well off. I could pay a handyman to fix that wall. Nope. Bang in a nail, hang a picture over it.
You mentioned they're kind of well off. Yeah, the little comedy bit that they could not afford anything more than a goldfish or maybe a hamster as a pet.
Oh, yeah.
I was like looking around their house going like,
right.
Sell it to your house, unless the house is the reason why they can't afford that.
Yeah, the whole speech about we don't have horse money, honey. Because one of the daughters is obsessed with, I want a horse.
Right. And I think the
And again, is this supposed to be funny? He gets a horse from Craigslist or something, and it was like, it's $50 for a horse.
Well, I did not understand that at all.
No.
And also, was any care taken to they just put a horse in their backyard and then later think it's died and then they're just going to drag it away. What about who has scooped some manure in this movie?
Right.
Who has fed the horse some hay? It's just, I don't know. It's like, if
you taking that horse to the vet?
You're going to be that silly.
Right.
Be sillier then, because this movie wasn't as silly as it thought it was, and so it was just kind of watching. And then it has lines that land like, I am only keeping your roll warm. Remember? Mandy Moore goes like, hey, are you upset because we switched roles or something? And he's like, we didn't switch. I'm only keeping your roll warm. Meaning like, this is your job. All of this is your job. I'm not trying. I'm not going to look at your system, even though your efficiency abilities have actually gotten you on Shark Tank, and you have this whole business.
Yeah.
I don't see him being excited for her, and it's really passive aggressive to entirely ignore all of her white dry erase boards or whatever. She brings an additional one at some point. Nobody ever uses, and I never see anybody using their little star point system in the movie.
And I think we live in a time as well. The end made me laugh, not with the film, but at it, because that whole sort of, we've been caught, we have to use a house to do a presentation. Well, you've wrecked your house. So he goes on a little montage of asking people, can I borrow your house? We just need your house to do this like video conference call. That's all. And people are like, they have that long, like, caring speech with Kumail Nanjiani, who then slams the door in his face like, nope, psych, haha. And you're like, okay, all right, he's being a douche, sure, okay. They've been awful to each other through the whole film as salesmen against each other. Okay, understand that. Then he goes to Colin Jost, who just wants a male friend, and he's like, I'll tell you what, we'll hang out if you just let me use your front living room. Then when it's all blown up in their face and it's like, wait, someone goes, wait a minute, this isn't your house? Would they care? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
They act like you lied that you're a man or something. And again, hearkening back to silly 80s films, it's like, it's not that big of a deal.
I think the only laugh that I heard the whole time was when she goes, I can't lie. And he's like, I can lie. This is our house or whatever. That was the only laugh.
Right, that was good delivery.
That was the only laugh in the whole movie. Anyway.
I particularly liked when he was a sort of concerned dad, and it was like the boyfriend at school, and the other daughters are in the car, and he just puts on a silly voice and calls for the daughter going, it's me, it's your dad, like embarrassing her. And I thought, well, that seemed the most real he's been, of like, oh, I don't think I like my daughter being next to this teen guy. And the other daughters are laughing and all kind of join in. I'm like, that's the closest they've been in the whole film as a family kind of unit. Like, hey, look, Dad's being silly.
And that's actually, like, borderline bullying, you know?
Yeah,
like, that's
again, it's all problematic and it's all not funny.
Right, like, you know, those dads that do stuff like that, like, they should really just, you know...
What was the term?
Actually speak to you like a human being when you get in the car.
Yeah, what was the term you used for our last review? A nothing burger?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, this is nothing...
Just because that's what the youth are saying these days.
Yeah, kids, we get you. This was definitely a nothing burger.
Yeah, but
it's a three-course meal.
Though. It's fascinating because I'm very interested in... I never had any expectation of liking this movie.
And you kind of want to be hopefully surprised,
although Colin Jost is trying to be funny, like his life depends on it, and I did appreciate him in this movie, but I'm very interested in what MAGA aligned, media is putting in front of us for us to consume, and I think it's established, right now it's like the app Threads is hopping with people discussing, his attendance at the UFC Donald Trump birthday party. And we don't have to get super into politics, except that I want to say I recognize that this movie, with its plethora of commercials before the movie aimed at men,
right?
In particular, it felt very like this is supposed to be Father's Day outing, and let's show some ads for tools and, this kind of thing. Let's make sure you feel right at home. I've never seen this many commercials before.
Right. It's like, who wrangled that to be like, you normally get, trailers ahead of a film. And now there's this, the Nuvi thing where it's like, it's a broadcast thing by the cinema chain going, hey, look, we've got interviews, but we'll also advertise like the drinks in the lobby or maybe candy like M&Ms. But yeah, you certainly don't get TV commercials
right.
really ahead of some movies. And this was a lot.
Yeah. So I think it's significant that Nate only has daughters in this movie. Right. I think, even the presence of a son would have pushed the story in a different direction, because I have to believe that Mandy Moore's character, who is, and I just wrote down creative, upbeat, organized, probably type A, optimistic, brings souvenirs, she has object permanence, she remembers that she has children when she goes other places, unlike Nate, who doesn't know where they go to school, and that's supposed to be hilarious.
Which means, how did these two hook up? They're so opposite. She
right.
just wouldn't tolerate this buffoon.
Right. Maybe she wanted that project, but
yeah, maybe.
But the fact that he only has daughters kind of pits him as the fish out of water.
Right.
In a sea of, girl stuff, lady stuff. I don't know what this is. Spaghetti's falling out of the cabinet. Come on now. Mandy Moore, with all her organization, she would have had some clear storage.
And did you notice the first time he opens, he's looking, is he supposed to be making toast or something? But he's like, bread. And he opens the cabinet, and I don't know if you noticed, but the gizmo, which could have just been an intern, but the spaghetti is already on its side and just gets pushed towards Nate. It's so obviously pushed. It's it didn't fall. It was pushed at him.
That take will do.
And all the spaghetti comes out, and he's like, oh! And it's what the heck just happened there? Was that? I thought we were going to see a rat or something in the cupboard pushing the spaghetti out. But no, that's just the spaghetti is like that in his house. Every time he opened that cupboard, spaghetti fell out. Hilarious.
Right.
Oh, my sides, they are but splitting.
Yeah, and I guess it ends that
Oh yeah, it did end. The film definitely ended.
It finally ends that, okay, in terms of an arc, we'll say he's recognized that he wants to be present for spelling bees, and now he works for her. And maybe you could argue well, that's not, that's not anti-woman, whatever.
Right.
I don't know. They wrapped it up in a bow for that, I guess, but it did make me weirdly emotional to see her on the what you call the big jumbotron or whatever in the thing,
end.
because they were recognizing her her minor fame that she got as a Shark Tank winner and stuff like that, and
because you're supposed to be on the jumbotron at a sporting event when you're the top Toyota salesman. So he's already done it twice, and then it becomes Kumail Nanjiani, so he gets his face, and then it's he's wrangled it with presumably the stadium to be can you just do this thing for my wife? And that was sweet, but yeah, it's what are we supposed to glean from this? He's all great now because he did that jumbotron favor.
Right.
I don't know.
I think that's all fine and good, but there are some really disturbing, ideas along the way. And I wonder what you all thought of it. I mean, I think a lot of people probably didn't like this movie.
I think you're right, because the audience spoke with their wallets that we were one of 4 people in it.
We were we were hilariously in the front row for this. But I just heard a little bit of laughter once in the back, but there wasn't full of people.
No.
And I don't know. It's very odd. And I wonder.
And we are reading all your comments. We've got some interesting stuff for Over Disclosure Day. So did anyone see this and like it? Maybe you can explain it to us. What was so appealing? Because I hated it. I hated it with a passion.
I think that if somebody liked it, their argument would be, hey, it's just a comedy. Or hey,
is it?
Lighten up.
Right.
Hey, it's not
we were
supposed to be like that,
We were so lightened up.
Just laugh, okay? It's funny.
Yeah. Just turn off your brain. No thanks. I want to keep my brain switched on. And then you see this dreck and you're like, oh, no. Maybe I should have switched my brain off.
But
I don't want to.
Is there room for a sequel?
Probably.
I'm getting a divorce.
I can only imagine, if he fills stadiums, then Nate Bargatze might get a sequel. I don't know if this made any money, but just, he has the power. If he has so much money, he could be like, well, I'm going to finance it. I'm making a sequel, damn it.
Right. I just think, I think that if he had maybe told his face a little bit that he was in a comedy, I think you can be this straight person without looking like deeply existentially lost,
Right.
like straight, Seinfeld always looks a little entertained by his his wacky crew around him.
Sure.
And I think, one thing I was really noticing is like, this guy's miserable and I don't think he likes his family. And I think he's just looking for like a corner to hide in or something, which I guess ended up being the laundry area. And
the writers could have fixed it with just like, start with the horse accidentally kicks him in the head, there you go. That's why he's a moron.
That's why he doesn't understand a toaster.
That's why he can't make toast. The horse kicked him in the head.
We wish you well on your recovery,
Yeah.
Nate Bargatze.